Hey, I'm Randy Younger, New York City's go-to film enthusiast. Every week I dive deep into the world of cinema with special guests from the New York City film scene. Whether I'm interviewing industry insiders or comparing the latest releases, there's always something for every movie lover. Join me as I explore the magic of film and discover what makes these movies unforgettable. Hey guys, I'm Randy Younger, and this is a special episode of Under the Radar, bringing movies and people together one frame at a time. And with me tonight, I have a very special guest. It's been a while for Mr. Thomas Puglisi. Welcome back, Thomas.
Hey Randy, glad to be back.
Yeah, it's been a while, and I'm happy to see you again. And we're going to be discussing the wonderful world of the Joker. The new film now, Joker 2 or Joker Folie à Deux, is now out in theaters. It is the sequel to the 2019 film Joker, starring Joaquin Phoenix as the Clown Prince of Crime. And in this one, Arthur Fleck is currently in Arkham Asylum, and he randomly meets Harley Quinn, played by the great Lady Gaga. And the film basically is a courtroom drama slash thriller slash musical slash love story between Joker and Harley. And the movie is not getting a lot of love from people, from critics, from audiences. And the box office is it's a bit of a disappointment in all aspects. But it has some redeeming qualities. I thought the chemistry between Phoenix and Gaga was pretty strong. The courtroom drama aspect of it was a little dull, a little boring. It just didn't have the same flavor as the original, the same excitement and originality. And director Todd Phillips is largely to blame for that. He doesn't really have a great track record with sequels. The Hangover 2 and 3 were not exactly, stellar films, and Joker 2 is no exception here. But Thomas, just real quick, what were your thoughts on Joker 2?
Well, I mean, if I'm going to be completely honest, I was pretty disappointed with this movie. And a funny thing is, years ago when I was on the show with our friend Erica when we were reviewing the first movie, I even remember we actually did say that the Joker was just good as its own. It really did not need a sequel because, I mean, like it just should have been just a one-off, and that's really it.
Yeah.
But as we know, Hollywood, like money just talks, and like since the first movie made $1 billion,
Mhm.
so what do? Just cash in. And
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, and I did think like that Todd Phillips, not everything he touches turns to gold, like what you just said. Hangover 2 and 3 were pretty disappointments as well.
Right.
And like I did like the first half of the movie was actually pretty good for I did like, when we first see Arthur like coming out of his cell, like he looked like a broken man, like as if he's been in there for years. So I mean, I did like, how like the movie was shot, like we saw these long shots here and there. So it was shot very well. I was hoping to see more of Gotham in this one because I really did like the look of Gotham in the first movie.
Yeah.
So, but we didn't really see that much of Gotham in this one though.
Right.
But I did like Lady Gaga, like was pretty good, and Joaquin Phoenix was also pretty good. Like he didn't look like he was just there for a paycheck, like some actors would when it comes to a sequel. He looked like he actually did care, and he looked like he was still given 100% of his of a performance. But like the musical numbers like felt pretty pointless. Like they didn't really feel like they needed to be in this movie. And another thing I was kind of hoping that we would have also seen, like maybe we would have seen Bruce Wayne a little older in this movie because like last time we saw Bruce Wayne, we see his parents getting shot. So I would have liked to have seen maybe an appearance from him, like seeing how he's coping with the death of his parents. But
Mm,
there's nothing of that either.
right. I think there's a lot of missed opportunities with this movie. I think they could have definitely expanded on a Batman storyline, or at least just have him in the background. Just kind of like hint at it,
Oh yeah,
or
maybe he
maybe
could have been in the court or something like that.
yeah, something like that. And even maybe, dare I say, tie it in with the Robert Pattinson Batman storyline. this is a thing with DC that I, over the past like 15, 20 years, have really just been disappointed with. They have like five different timelines and storylines, and none of them really coincide with each other. Unlike Marvel, which they're known for their very strong and effective use of continuity. DC, on the other hand, is kind of all over the place, and it's very disappointing. I think this movie could have expanded on the DC universe a little bit, but I understand it's its own thing. But then again, all DC movies seem to be like their own thing, and I think that they can tie into each other a little bit better.
Oh yeah, and heck, a funny thing you mentioned that because, like, the ending of this movie, which I'm not going to spoil, but I remember there were some fan theories that like it was actually a prequel to The Dark Knight because of well something that happens at the very end. But however, Todd Phillips did like confirm it's not. So like so they just kind of had like a little bit of a pointless
Right.
Dark Knight nod when not really do anything with it. And that is another thing like I wasn't really a fan of with this was the ending because like after everything that happened in this movie, it ended like that. I mean,
Yeah. Yeah,
mhm.
and you just said, that no spoilers. This show is a spoiler-free zone when it comes to certain movies, especially new movies like Joker 2. And yeah, but the ending was pretty shocking, and there were elements of that final sequence that were a little it was a little tricky and a little kind of confusing as to where they were going. But yeah, it's just strange because the first Joker was such a good movie, so well acted, well directed, and now we have the sequel here, and it really just feels like, yeah, they obviously they just want to make a paycheck. They want to,
Yeah.
get print some money.
Oh,
Uh,
I mean, like Joker is one of those things where it's like if it's not broke, don't fix it.
yeah, I think it should have been a standalone film. I agree. Um, but DC got a little greedy here. And we have the total opposite in terms of a critical response because it's really getting a lot of hate. Um, mostly because it's a musical. I don't even really remember the songs. I don't remember them being particularly good or original. I don't know
Yeah.
about you, Thomas.
Yeah, I mean, like maybe they were just trying to take advantage of the fact they had like a really good singer with Lady Gaga, and
Mhm.
yes, she's a good singer and good actress, but I mean, we didn't really need a musical, especially the first one wasn't even a musical, so like why make this one a musical?
Yeah. It's just strange. It's like they're
Yeah,
trying to be clever, they're trying to be cute, and
yeah,
it just kind of falls flat, and it's sad.
hmm
You know, but back to the acting. So we've got Joaquin Phoenix, who again, so he won the Oscar back in 2020 for the first Joker, and I believe he lost weight for that movie. He definitely lost weight for this one because the opening scene, you see him hunched over, and the his spine is like exposed, and you could see it coming through his skin. He lost a lot of weight. I think he was on a diet of just fruit. I think it was just apples or something, and it shows because the man is very emaciated.
yeah.
Um,
That's something I noticed too. But like I did say before, though, it did really go with like making him look like a broken man. I mean,
right.
yeah, I don't remember like how long this it's supposed to be like set after the first movie, but it almost feels like it's like I don't know, like 5 years later or something like that, give or take.
Yeah.
So yeah, I did like that he looked like a broken man after being locked up in an asylum for so long.
I
Because
mean, it could have been 5 years, but like I think once he was arrested and to the trial, that timeline would be maybe what, a year or so?
yeah, probably a year. Yeah,
I mean, I don't know the legal process in Gotham, but
yeah,
but but yeah, he definitely looked broken. And then when he finally does meet Harley, you kind of see a little smile, little hope, glimmer of hope. And
yeah.
I think their relationship was the highlight of the film.
Oh
And
yes,
I really wish that they focused more on that and not made it a musical and just made it like a straight up romantic drama would have been a better direction to go in.
yeah. I've always really did like that shot of when like they're talking on the phone, then she draws a smile around the glass and like it lines up with his face.
Yeah, yeah. See,
Yeah,
'cause stuff like that those are like really refreshing moments.
Mhm.
and we need more of that in a movie like this. It's just a big letdown, very big
Mhm.
disappointment. Um, so, I've been telling people don't go to the theater, don't pay $20 to see this. I say just wait for it to stream on Max. That might be a better option, save some money, because this movie really doesn't benefit from a big screen experience, in my opinion. I don't know how it was for you.
I have to agree on that. Yes, I mean, like it's not something that you got to rush out to go and see. I mean, like you can just wait for it to go on streaming. And heck, I would even say like don't even like go see it right away. I mean, wait for it to drop in price or something like that because it's not really worth the full price. Like whether it's money or a rental of some sort.
Well, honestly, with the box office activity, I don't think it's going to be in theaters for much longer.
Oh
I
yeah,
think I think
when
this
I
is
saw it, I didn't really see that many people in the theater.
yeah, it's sad.
Yeah.
Um, I would recommend uh movies like The Substance, which we just reviewed, or Saturday Night, which I'm about to review in a future episode. Those are much better movies out there right now. And yeah, I mean, I was just really curious what they were going to do with this one. I am happy to see the two stars shine brightly together, but overall, the movie around them, around these two great actors, is just pretty bad.
Yeah.
So, I wanted to just switch gears a little bit and talk about the history of the Joker on film. So the Joker, he's Batman's arch nemesis. He is the main villain in Batman's Rogues Gallery.
Yeah.
And he was actually inspired by a German actor named Conrad Veidt. And he was in a film. This actor was in a 1928 film adaptation of Victor Hugo's The Man Who Laughs. And if you Google Conrad Veidt, it's Veidt, he, he basically is a maniacal clown, like this crazed looking clown figure. And that character was the inspiration for DC Comics Joker.
Mhm.
And the rest is history. And we're going to talk right now about Joker on film. And I believe the first version of the Joker on film was the 1966 Batman movie starring Adam West. And that was Cesar Romero back then who portrayed the Clown Prince of Crime. And since then, we've had just a wonderful group of talented actors who have portrayed the character. Thomas, over the years, over the decades, do you have a favorite Joker actor?
I do. Yes.
All right, let's have it.
Well, my favorite one is Heath Ledger from The Dark Knight. His was like, so funny and so like, sadistic. Like, and he pretty much like made the character his own, like, and he blended like, the two sides, the funny side and like, the violent side pretty well. And like I do remember before I did see The Dark Knight, I wasn't really too fan of like, that he was only just gonna be wearing makeup because I've always known the Joker having like, actual white skin, red lips, green hair. But when I saw how it was done in The Dark Knights and when I knew why it was going that way, I actually was all for it because I know that Christopher Nolan was trying to be realistic and like, and for what they did, it worked very well.
Oh yeah.
Especially if it was just makeup because like if it was just makeup, he was able to like fool like people like when he didn't have his makeup on and he was at the police funeral, so you didn't know that was him until you saw the scars.
Right.
Yeah.
So Heath Ledger is the best actor to ever play the Joker, hands
Yes.
down. He really brought this rawness, this realism, and really legitimately, he was scary.
Oh
Uh,
yeah.
like you could really, this guy could like he could stab you, he could shoot you, or blow you up. The scene where he had the grenades in his vest.
Yes.
Um, just a fantastic performance, amazing, and he won the Oscar the Best Supporting Actor Oscar for that role.
Yes.
Sadly, he was awarded that Oscar after he passed away. Uh,
Yes.
he really embodied that character so much that he really like lost it, and sadly, I think he overdosed on pills.
Yeah, unfortunately. And
He,
I still remember like when people were saying that the only reason why he got that Oscar was because of his death. But to
mm,
be honest, I always felt he won it because he personally deserved it. I mean, like, he was the one that really stole the show in The Dark Knight.
yeah,
Like, every scene that he was in, I couldn't take my eyes off the screen. I mean, like that first scene in the bank with him when he takes the mask off, it's revealed, like, that was him. The scene where with the pencil in the eyeball, want to see a magic trick. I mean,
yeah,
that always made me laugh and also made me cringe at the same
yep,
time. Well, and I mean, I also just really liked when he put up a fight with Batman towards the end as well, like letting loose dogs on him, but then like
mm,
taking advantage, trying to come out with him with a lead pipe.
yep,
And yes, and I also really did like when Batman like showed up, like when he was like, "Oh, a little fight," and yeah, I
yeah. I
like that.
like
Then
that.
yep, and then they're gonna love me.
The great,
Yep.
great performance. Rest in peace, Heath Ledger. He was only, I think, 28 years old, but he left just in that one performance, he left behind such a great legacy. It's amazing.
Yes.
He'll always be remembered for that. Now, aside from Ledger, I have a soft spot for Jack Nicholson. He's probably my favorite Joker for sentimental reasons because I was, as far as I can remember, some of my first action figures were hit like his, the old Toy Biz DC superheroes line. That was a great line. But Nicholson has always been one of my favorite actors, not just because of Batman, but because of other movies. One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest comes to mind as probably his best movie. But his portrayal of the Joker, I think, was very similar. It's kind of modeled after Cesar Romero, kind of like that really colorful, flashy, goofy version of the Joker. And
Right,
really,
especially with the purple clothes.
yeah, yeah, for sure. So I love Nicholson's Joker so much, and I love the backstory of Jack Napier kind of rising up in the ranks of the mob and becoming like a crime boss. And yeah, I think he brought a lot to the role too. It was really just fun to see him. Plus, he was paid a lot of money to play the Joker, but that's besides the point. He's my favorite Joker. I'd say Ledger's a close second. Um, so let's see here. After Ledger, we got did we get Jared Leto after that, I think?
Jared Leto.
Yeah. Now Jared Leto didn't get a lot of scenes to shine. I believe his first appearance was in Suicide Squad from 2016,
Yeah.
the Will Smith version. And he was a little, I mean, he was following Heath Ledger, which those are some very big shoes to fill.
Oh
uh,
yeah.
Kind of, didn't really fill them completely. He made the character his own. The metal grill in his mouth, the metal teeth. I think that we could have done without that. But
Could have done without the damage tattoo as well.
yeah, there was just a lot of weird little things about that his portrayal that kind of turned me off.
Yeah. But the thing though about the metal grill was I actually did read this online is that that was actually supposed to be explained. Like I'm not sure if it was supposed to be explained in that movie or in a later movie though. But I
Uh,
remember I think it was Zack Snyder who probably like said this was he was going to like explore Batman and the Joker's history in later movies and like he was going to like at some point like show like why Joker's got all those tattoos, why like he's got metal teeth was because after Joker killed Robin, like it
mm,
was supposed to be like Batman went on like a bit of like a rampage on him and really busted him up really good and like busted his face up and knocked out a few of his teeth
yeah.
and but like he just didn't kill him though and so like while in Arkham he had some work done so he got like
Mm,
some teeth implants and got all tattooed up as well
yeah.
so
Yeah,
yeah
they could have definitely expanded on that and explained it a little bit better. But Yeah, I think Leto is a very good actor. I don't think he was the right choice at that moment in time for DC, but
Yeah. But I mean, like, I do think Jared Leto is a good actor too, yes. But I mean, like, obviously he did have some like big shoes to fill after like Heath Ledger blew everyone away with in The Dark Knight. But I mean, according to the director David Ayer, like he did film a lot more scenes as the Joker that were unfortunately cut because of DC's greediness, where they're cutting like scenes away, try to make movies PG-13 because according to David Ledger, he did film Suicide Squad to be like a little more violent, like practically R-rated.
right.
And according to him, like that Jared Leto actually, according to him, like he did actually do a pretty good performance, but unfortunately, it cut out so much of it that he didn't really shine well. But I do think though that Jared Leto did a better performance in Zack Snyder's Justice League for that cameo he had at the very end.
Now here's a question for you,
Yes,
Thomas. So, who do you prefer as Harley Quinn? Do you prefer Gaga or Robbie, Margot Robbie?
I would have to say Margot Robbie
Yeah,
because I really think like Margot Robbie really embodied the character, and like Lady Gaga, while still a good performance, but like I felt she didn't really like shine too big as the character. Like I was
yeah,
kind of hoping like at some point maybe she would have like gotten into like more of the trademark makeup,
right.
and also the ending like with them like I just felt was a pretty disappointment, which I'm not going to spoil again as well. But like as we also said, after everything that the movie went through, its ending was just all out disappointing.
Yeah, I think both actresses, they definitely give it their all. They definitely give a lot to the performance.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Now, the original Harley Quinn, the first appearance of Harley was in Batman the Animated Series back in the 90s. That was really revolutionary in terms of the rogues gallery and Batman's enemies and sidekicks of the enemies and that signature like Brooklyn accent and just that over the top persona of Harley was basically born in the animated series. So yeah, both actors do bring a lot to the role and both bring very different things to the role. And I think I might agree with you with Robbie. However, I would have liked to have seen more of Gaga. I think they could have definitely fleshed out her character a little bit better. But I don't know if we'll ever get to see Gaga in that role again after this
Yeah.
this dismal box office and the critical response. But I just mentioned the animated series, and there's one more. I believe there's one more Joker actor on film who was in the animated films, and that is the voice work of the great Mark Hamill, who was another great embodiment of the character and and that laugh is just so maniacal, so crazy and so out there. And Mark Hamill was just very funny and you can tell he was enjoying the role.
Oh
So
yeah.
I didn't want to end the show without mentioning Hamill because he's fantastic.
Oh yeah. I mean, like I always liked his voice acting as the Joker. And heck, when I would read comic books years ago, I would actually like, picture the Joker sounding like him. Yes. And in fact, actually an interesting thing was there was this short-lived TV show called Birds of Prey.
Mhm.
And like the very first episode, we did see like a little bit of like the history of Batman and Joker's rivalry, and they did have a an actor playing the Joker on screen. Fortunately, I don't remember the actor's name, but
Oh.
when the Joker did talk, they dubbed that actor with Mark Hamill. So Mark Hamill like did the voiceover for that Joker right there.
Oh, that's funny. I'm gonna have to go back and watch that. That sounds cool.
Mhm.
So, all right. So the timeline of the Joker on film. I think I covered all of them, right, Thomas?
About, I mean, unless you want to talk, like mention also that Joker cameo towards the end of the Batman. But I mean,
Oh
like,
yeah, that's
yeah,
right.
so there was that. So I mean, like, it was just a brief cameo, like just the Joker talking to the Riddler in the cell next door in Arkham.
Mhm. Indeed, indeed. That is very accurate. But I would say that the quintessential Joker if they could do a mashup of Nicholson and Ledger's performances, if you mix those and throw in some Hamill, those three actors, that's the perfect Joker. It's just hard to pick just one. But yeah, for again, for sentimental reasons, Nicholson's mine. Ledger is your first. He's definitely a second, a close second for me. So, all right. So, Thomas, how do you feel about the future of the Batman universe, about DC in general? Are you optimistic?
Well, I mean, I'm still interested in in what's to come in the future. I mean, I know James Gunn just finished filming a new Superman movie, which I'm personally
Yes.
excited about, and I'm sure our mutual friend Vinny Bonfanti is excited for it as well.
Yeah.
And I'm actually hoping, I got my fingers crossed that it's going to be a good movie, especially from things I have been hearing and seeing. It actually looks like they're bringing more of the good representation to the character, since I know a lot of people were saying they misrepresented the character in Man of Steel, even though I did like Man of Steel. But
Mhm.
I do know it looks like they're going back to the original roots with this movie. It almost looks like it's going to be like golden age kind of
Yeah.
Superman. So I'm actually still excited. I'm willing to give these new movies a chance. And heck, James Gunn has a very good track record when it comes to comic book movies and shows. I mean, all three Guardians of the Galaxy were good. The Suicide Squad was good, and the show Peacemaker was also good.
Very good, actually. Really, really good show.
Yeah, so with his track record, I think he's going to do good
I'm very optimistic with the new Superman, which I think comes out next summer.
next
And
summer.
I'm really, really hoping that they kind of follow in the Marvel trajectory of character development and team building, so we can have like a nice, like lighthearted, fun Justice League eventually, not the Snyder version, which is like dreary and washed out and gray and kind of just morbid and dark and just unpleasant. I think we need like a lighthearted DC universe, and hopefully James Gunn will bring that to the fans. So, Thomas, we are just about out of time here. And I know it's been a while for you, but do you have any plugs? Is there anything you want to mention?
Yes, I'd like to plug in this independent horror film that a friend of mine, William Instone, is working on right now. He's got a Indiegogo for it right now. It's called Caught in My Eye.
Nice.
Yeah, so it's a new horror thriller that he's currently developing right now. And
Okay.
yeah, so if you get a chance, you can donate to the Indiegogo campaigns, get some pretty good perks like t-shirts, posters, copy of the movie when it comes out.
Cool.
Yep, and some even some screen used merchandise as well.
All right. Sounds exciting. Awesome.
Yep.
Cool. As for me, you can check out new episodes of Under the Radar on Slam Radio through SiriusXM every Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. Also, the video version of Under the Radar is on Manhattan Neighborhood Network, and that airs every Monday at 11 a.m. Eastern, 8 a.m. Pacific. And as always, feel free to subscribe to the Under the Radar YouTube channel and share it with your friends and family. So just share the love, basically. Oh, and also I wanted to mention real quick that today I assisted my local New York City Ghostbusters at New York Comic Con today, and that was just a lot of fun. We did our patented slime lab for the kids. We had some prizes, some raffle, a bunch of merchandise to sell, and a lot of photo ops. So that is still going on tomorrow. And yeah, it's just a fun time. I love Comic-Con. It is my home away from home, and I look forward to going back next year. So, Thomas, I want to thank you so much for your time tonight. This is awesome. It was good to see you,
Yeah.
and I'll see you soon.
See you soon.
All right. I'm Randy Younger. This has been Under the Radar, bringing movies and people together, one frame at a time. We'll see you next time. Take care.